Hello, all my dear Cancerian friends. This is Maxine Taylor with your November forecast. I was thinking of the eclipses, 5th and 11th houses. Oh gosh, yes. Beautiful forecast. Before I jump into that, I just want to respond to those of you who in the past have asked if I would mentor you or teach you astrology. And for some of you, I don't have a way of getting back in touch with you except through video. I have begun a mentoring program. It's very different from most. It's one-on-one, face-to-face on Zoom. If you are interested in studying astrology, either for yourself or because you'd like to become a practicing astrologer, just go to my website, MaxineTaylor.com. All the information is there, and I look forward to talking with you. The program has begun, still have a few openings, and I would love to welcome you into the fold. All right, now let us talk about this glorious forecast for November. Oh, I just love it. First of all, let me just mention that, as you probably know, those of you who study astrology know that Mercury went direct. And when it went direct, it moved into the shadow of the retrograde, which is not the retrograde period, but it sure does feel like it. It's kind of the remnant, the last hurrah. It will come out of the shadow on November 2nd. And Venus is going to enter the shadow of the retrograde on the 18th, which means at some point very soon, we're going to have tag team. Mercury and Venus are going to be retrograde at the same time. This happens periodically. It's crazy town when that happens, but it does happen. All right. The good news is that between November 2nd and November 18th, you can begin those new projects that you put off while Mercury was retrograde. Okay, because neither Mercury nor Venus will be retrograde during that block of time. Don't you love it? Now, look at this forecast. Let's start with Mercury. Mercury is what we think about and talk about, and whatever we think about and talk about grows because we put our attention on it. It's been in your 4th house of home and family, which of course is very near and dear to your heart. On the 5th, Mercury's moving into your 5th house. Yeehaw! Look at that 5th house. 5th house is fun and games. It's pleasure of all types. It's also children. So if you have children, you're going to be spending more time with them. You're going to be focused on them. It's going to be a time of fun and enjoyment and socializing and kids and creativity. If you're an artist, a musician, oh boy, will you shine during this period of time. So Mercury, thinking and talking about the home. On the 5th, it's thinking, what about my kids? I want to talk to my kids. Or what about my social life? I want to have fun. Great, do it. Because on the 24th, Mercury moves into your 6th house of work, health, and service. And you're thinking then about your work, about your health, and about being of service to others. Okay, since Mercury passes the sun on its way into the 6th house, let's talk about the sun, the yellow planet. That's the center of our life. And so with the sun in the 5th house, the center of your life is fun and creative projects. And yes, children. And yes, social life, partying, go for it. On the 21st, the sun precedes Mercury into that sixth house. And so the center of your life becomes your job or your health. And the sun is the giver of life. So if you've had health issues, they're going to improve at that point. And you can pretty much take that to the bank because it will improve. The health improves. In fact, if you wanted to take on a new job, you could do that. All right. Now, that leaves Mars sitting alone in that fifth house. Mars is in Scorpio, and it's the most powerful place it can be because that, with the exception of Aries, because Mars and Pluto co-rule Scorpio. And wherever Mars is what we fight with and fight for. And it does rule war. We'll go toe to toe with somebody wherever Mars is. And so we'll fight for our kids and with our kids. We'll fight for our social life to get out there. And we may find that we are being a little bit aggressive socially with Mars in that fifth house, because that's what comes first above all else. So the center of our life is the sun. What comes first to us and what we'll fight for is Mars, and they are together in that fifth house. Look out, world. Here come the Cancerians. Okay. Venus is the pink planet, and it's love and beauty and money. Now, the sun and Mercury are both in that sixth house of health, work, and service, so that you can get going after you've partied like crazy. You can get going on your job and recovering from whatever partying you did. Wherever Venus is, that's what you love. So you love your job, you love what you're doing. And on the 5th, it moves into your 7th house of partnership. And you love the one-on-one relationship. And if you're available, you could meet somebody. If you are married or partnered, the love for that person will grow. It will increase. And you will love all of the people you come in contact with, because you're going to, and I shouldn't say because you're going to help them love themselves, but because you help them love themselves, they love you. Okay. Now let's talk about the new moon and the full moon. The new moon is on November 4th in 12 Scorpio 40. Find that new moon. That's when energy starts moving forward. Find that in your birth chart and you'll have the whole picture. So what starts moving forward? Fun, games, creativity, passion, romance, and children. Okay. And so for 2 weeks, that moon keeps growing until there's a full moon on November 19th in 27 Taurus. Find that in your birth chart. It's important because it's not just a full moon, it's a lunar eclipse. And a full moon lasts 2 weeks. An eclipse lasts until the next pair of eclipses come along, which are usually about 5 or 6 months later, but they're at their peak 3 to 4 months after they occur. It's in the 11th house of friendship and humanitarianism. It's really beautiful. And so your outlet from all this partying and all this spending time with kids is to be a humanitarian, which is a friend to all. Isn't that gorgeous? I just love it. So that is your beautiful forecast for November. I can't stop looking at this chart. It's so lovely. So join me next month when once again I take a look at your astrological forecast. Until then, may the stars shine brightly on you and yours. Bye for now.